Hello and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Rukayya Idris and I post content on lifestyle and fun tips and tricks. Today is going to be something exciting, I guess. We're going to be talking about Nigeria and the current climate of what it is our country has become. This is just my opinion, thoughts, and if you don't resonate with them, I completely understand and I completely it's your prerogative. So stick around if you want to hear what it is I have to say about that. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends and family because some of you forget to do that. Please don't forget to like. Thank you. We are sip the Henny for the day, baby. Bad man, we not stray, baby. So Nigeria has been going through tough times. I think we've been going through tough times since the beginning of this country's emanation. I don't think there's ever been a time where people were like, oh, Nigeria is doing very well. And that, I think that's more of a philosophical thing than an actual thing. But I think at every point in time, everyone has always been like, oh, Nigeria has not been in its peak. And if you ask me, I would blame colonialism, but yeah, don't ask me. So like a week ago, we got a new president. I'm forgetting his name. Bola Tinubu Asiwaju. He got into power through with a lot of controversy, because if you could tell during the time of the elections, everyone was at war with each other. It was kind of like a Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba thing. Everyone was against each other. And even at the beginning, when everyone meant for it to be like, oh, this is just a healthy debate, it kind of like spiraled to the point where friends became enemies and stuff. Like there's so many videos and memes of people like insulting their friends and loved ones simply because of the election. I personally think that is stupid because they don't care about you. So I don't know why you are arguing about what is going on in their lives. I think when it comes to democracy, especially in third world countries, it's always do your best and leave the rest. Like, I wouldn't preach political apathy. I understand why some people have it, but I wouldn't preach political apathy. But I would also not preach deep involvement or deep passion for politics, especially when you know you have no say in what happens. So during the NSAS protest, permitting me to like divert a bit or to spiral a bit. During the NSAS protest, I was heavy on it. I was posting everything, talking about it, being so passionate about it. And I asked my friend, like, oh, he seems like someone that cares about topics like this. Why isn't he saying anything? He said he knew he was not in the position to do anything about it. So he felt like it would be pointless for him to talk about it, express his feelings and everything on something that he cannot change. I didn't agree, but I understood it. I understood where he was coming from. Personally, I feel like when you speak out and you say something, when it's time for things to actually be done, you get to say, oh yeah, I was there. I was part of the people that said these things. And it really says a lot about people in history. There are a lot of people in history that we have seen not achieve what they set out to achieve, but they are still remembered because of the stand that they took. People such as Martin Luther King Jr., El Shabazz, I'm forgetting his Malcolm X. They didn't necessarily win, but they pushed the movement. They were important in the cause. So that's how I feel when it comes to like topics like this. It's good to speak, but don't alienate someone that you care about for the sake of all these politicians. So yeah, Tinubu won amidst a lot of controversies. A lot of people believe the election was rigged. There's actually no proof of that. I don't currently know what's going on in the trial or if it has finished, but I do know he has won. And this is Nigeria. We all know, yeah, he's not getting thrown off for any technicalities. And as much as a lot of Nigerians are displeased, we have to accept it. I'm not saying we should be happy about it. I think this is just one of the things in life that you cannot change. What's that thing that Christians say? God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the ability to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I think this is the time for us to know the difference between something we can change and something we cannot. And another thing I would like to say when it comes to Tinubu winning, a lot of Nigerians are very unoptimistic about what is going to happen to Nigeria now. Everyone is saying, oh, we're doomed, the country is going to ruins, and like this is the end for us. Like a lot of people are saying, oh no, don't be so pessimistic, just pray for the best for us, be optimistic. Who knows, he could be like the best president we've ever had. Based on what? What is leading you to that deduction? What makes you believe he's going to do a good job? I'm not saying he won't go do a good job. It's possible. We've not had like a president in Nigeria that came and completely blew our minds with their good deeds. It hasn't happened. So whenever I see people saying, "Oh no, God forbid, this country will not be bad, it will get better," again, it's I like that. I like the optimism, but it's wishful thinking. It's not logical. It's not based on any premise. You haven't seen anything that has happened that would lead you to believe this place is going to get better. What is going on in Nigeria will take a bloody miracle for someone to fix. So it is reasonable for people to assume he's not going to do any better. And talking about the fact that he came from the same party that has been ruling, and they haven't been able to do anything. So if they haven't been able to do anything, what is to lead us to the idea that he can do something? Again, I'm not against Tinubu. I just feel like for the people who are optimists, try to be realistic as well. Try to see things from a reasonable perspective. Again, you can still hope for the best and expect what is to be expected. I feel when it comes to like the people who are being realistic, you can kind of understand them. We're coming out of a presidency where we were under strike 2 times. We lived through COVID, where people couldn't go out and buy food with fuel scarcity, increase in fuel rates. We are the ones who supply fuel. We have crude oil in our country, and fuel is so expensive. People are scared. People are scared. People are scared. People are venting, and I think we should give them a room to vent. They have every right to vent, to express their feelings, their sadness, their outrage. And that's the entire thing with which democracy is built on. It is for the people. I guarantee you, all these pessimistic people who believe that the current president is going to do horrible things, if he ends up doing something great, they're going to be happy. It's only been a couple of days since he's been in power, and people are already feeling the effects. To me, what is quite alarming is the people that so desperately want to defend him. Like, oh, the people that you guys wanted to choose, they were also going to do fuel subsidy. Anybody in power knows the power of the tongue. Get up there and you say things. All the people that are increasing the rate of fuel, they heard what he said. They did that because of what he said. People want to say, oh, it's Nigerians that are doing Nigerians. Nigerians are just out for themselves. Everyone is out for themselves. It's easy for you to say things like, oh, why the fuel company increasing rates? The fuel company are out for themselves. They want to do what is best for their company. You would do the same if you were in their shoes. The one authority that you can always blame, no matter what, irrationally, is the government, because they are there for you. The fuel company is not there for you, they're there for themselves. When it comes to irrational blames or rational blames, the only people you can confidently place that on is your government, because they are supposed to be responsible, they are accountable for the things that happen to you as a citizen. I'm not against the people that want to support the current president no matter what happens. It's good. Support your president, patriotism all the way. But try to keep a sense of rationality in that. That's all I'm saying. Finally, the last tip I would have to add to this is whatever happens, focus on yourself. The people who are still doing well after the fuel scarcity, there are people that if the dollar rate rises to a whopping 2,000 to $1, it wouldn't affect them. They're not dependent on whether the country is doing well. They're not dependent on what president you elect. They are dependent on themselves. You can do well with or without the government. Focus on yourself. You can always make the best out of the worst of situations. So instead of sitting down and always tweeting, talking about what is going on in Nigeria, try to think, how can I make this benefit me? For example, I'm making this benefit me by making this video. I would hate for anybody to end up like all those bitter uncles who blame the government for the lack of employment. So you complain, what then? It's actually simple. What then? You want to complain from now till next year? After next year, what then? What is the solution? Because you're the one that is being affected by this thing. How do you make yourself come out of it? There are people who I have never heard talk about politics in my entire life. They still vote and they still believe in democracy, but whatever the outcome is, it doesn't affect their lives so fundamentally. So try and be like that. I'm not saying you shouldn't express your opinion. I'm not saying you shouldn't be outraged, but think about what then? What is next after that? Anyway, that is it. I hope you guys took one or two things from the rambling I just did. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends and family and everyone you know in this world. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
We all sip the Henny for the day, baby.